Hello everybody and welcome back again to Junkyard Summit, and today's video is gonna be a 2019 review on one of AMD's first generation 28nm GCN card. Meet the HD7770. This was released back in early 2012 with an initial price tag of $159 or roughly around 7,000 Philippine pesos. And for today's card that I will be reviewing, what I have here is my very own Sapphire HD7770 Vapor-X OC GHz edition. This is a 2-slot card with a factory overclock of 1100 MHz core clock and an effective memory clock of 5200 MHz. This also features a 1GB GDDR5 memory on a 128-bit memory bus. This is also an 80 watts graphics card, so meaning it requires a 6-pin PCIe power connector. Cooling, on the other hand, features Sapphire's very own Vapor-X twin cooler design together with a vapor chamber and 2 heat pipes, which in my opinion is still an awesome design in 2019. As usual, before I go to my benchmarks, just a quick run through on my test setup. For my processor, I will be using my Ryzen 3 2200G clocked at 3.8 GHz on a AB350M Pro 4 motherboard from ASRock. As for my memory, I will be using my G-Skill Trident Z RGB clocked at 3000 MHz, so that is 2 sticks of 8GB memory. Storage will be on my Seagate FireCuda SSHD and an EnerMax PSU, and finally my Inwin 301 case. Test runs will cover both 720p and 1080p on lowest setting except for a few games like Dota 2 and CSGO. And with that, let us go to our benchmarks. With the results out, we could see that the HD7770 still provides decent average FPS on 1080p, but mostly suffers in the 1% frames due to the limited 1GB memory. Running casual and competitive esports titles on this card should be no problem, especially with the new Battle Royale games such as PUBG and Fortnite, as long as you should keep the graphical preset on a low setting. Older AAA title games should also run fine on this card on a low to medium graphical preset, but newer game titles will have a hard time running on 1080p, so lowering it down to 720p is the best solution to have a acceptable gaming experience. There are also games such as The Division 2 wherein the game is not powerful enough to run a smooth gameplay. Temperature for this card hovers around 65 to 67 degrees Celsius on a 31 degrees Celsius ambient room temp thanks to Sapphire's vapor chamber cooling. In summary, the HD7770 can still run games in 2019 if you are willing to tone down the graphical settings or playing on 720p. But what's really great about this card is the fact that AMD is still supporting this generation in their driver support, even though it's already 7 years old. Those things might change in the following months as AMD will be rolling out their new Navi lineup, as this will transition from their GCN architecture to an all-new RDNA architecture. This means that driver support for all GCN cards might come to an end soon. And for our big question now, should you still consider the HD7770 in 2019? My short answer is yes, but with a few considerations. If you can find a used HD7770 at around 1,500 Philippine peso or below, then that's a great card at that price point. But as I was browsing through my local buy and sell group, the cheapest I could find for this card is around 1,800 Philippine peso, and others are even selling it for as high as 2,500 Philippine peso. At this price point, you could easily find a GTX 750 Ti, which is, by the way, more efficient than this card and at the same time more powerful than the HD7770. And that's a wrap for today's video. If you liked it, go hit the like button and please do subscribe to my channel for more game benchmarks like this. Once again, this is Brain of Junkyard Summit. Thank you and see you in the next one.